The Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog has got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code HGP. Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Gilbert. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Joel Meyer. How are you doing today, Joel?
Oh, the war continues in terms of my rehabilitation. I spent close to 4 hours in the hospital today as the doctors and nurses pried away at my body. They literally picked all the dead and live tissue remnants from these burns, which is apparently an ongoing thing in order to help the healing process, but it was painful as hell, so I am worn out, but I'm drinking again, so the eternal cure is in my grasp. But yeah, it was a tough morning, but the show must go on, and we must do our duty and talk about these elite teams coming up.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll probably be a shorter show because we talked a lot yesterday about everything else going on. And, second day in a row with the show, probably recording Thursday and Friday as well as we finish out through these team previews and get into the season starting on Tuesday. Less than a week away now from the season. So, of course, make sure you guys are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave us a 5-star rating and review there or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Also subscribe and comment and like on YouTube. That helps us out a lot there. And follow us on Twitter at Hockey SGPN. We did have a little bit of news today with Luke Hughes signing with the Devils. What was that? 7 years, $9 million a year. Kind of late into training camp here, just a week before the season. We'll see how much that impacts him and the Devils. They always seem to be a team that has a great offseason and then, wear down in the regular season and the playoffs kind of fade away.
Right. Well, Fitzgerald has a history of signing magnanimous deals. Of course, the Jack Hughes deal is still an excellent one. Probably the best in the league at this point. He's still got a few years left on his deal, which is an obscene number. Is Luke Hughes making more than him now? I'm pretty sure he is.
More than who?
Jackie.
Is he? He has to be.
Pretty
right?
close.
Let me check out the cap space here. Jack Hughes is at 8, and Luke Hughes is at 9. Yeah, that's crazy there.
And so some people are saying this is an overpay just because of the name value. He's a Hughes, so he gets all this money. But you know what? If it helps bring in Quinn Hughes in a couple of years, it's absolutely worth it. And I totally rate Luke Hughes as a defenseman as well. He should be a number one guy when Dougie Hamilton phases out. He's getting older in his career. So, yeah, this is a great deal, I think, for the Devils. Some people are panning it for being in too much, but considering how much the cap is rising, I think it's worth the gamble, considering the potential that he has. And remember a few years ago that both Quinn and Jack said that Luke is the best of the three. So, yeah, sky's the limit for this kid. I don't know if he's going to reach that level, but he's certainly going to be worth $9 million for 7 years, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think so as well. Like you look at it at first blush, it's like, oh, that's a lot of money. But then you think about the salary cap going up and how good he is, and he's 22, and of course the Quinn Hughes factor because he's already said he wants to play with his brothers. Both his brothers are now locked up in New Jersey, so we'll see if that comes to fruition if the Canucks falter this season.
Right.
Did you? Huh? Connor Ingram traded to the traded to the Edmonton Oilers.
Was it a trade or?
No, I think it was a trade for like a future considerations or something or something like that. Like because he was on waivers a few days ago, I think. So Ingram, future considerations, and Utah is retaining just a little bit under half of his salary there. So. Another goalie in Edmonton to go with Stuart Skinner and Cal Pickard. And, Ingram was good with the Coyotes last year. He had a bunch of stuff going on, didn't really play too well. But if he's in the right headspace, he can, he's not an elite goalie, but he can be a starter for a team like Edmonton.
For sure. He's a streaky goalie. He has had, he was leading the league in terms of the goal save expected at one point a couple years ago. So he certainly has the talent, but it's all about his off-ice stuff. I heard that he's a great character and all that, but if he can't keep things under control, then it's another gamble that the goalies are taking. We thought that maybe they would go for Carter Hart, considering he's a local kid, and another bit of a gamble in terms of his character. That's much to do with nothing, in my opinion. But they went a different route with Connor Ingram, but it's worth the gamble, I think, considering what they've got in net and Stu Skinner and Calvin Pickard. Getting another guy in there would be great because he has a higher potential, higher ceiling than Skinner does. Certainly, we've seen what Skinner can do. It's not good enough to win a cup, and maybe Ingram is the answer. But it's worth the gamble. They got him for free. So
Ingram 2 years ago, his final year in Arizona, he had a goal save above average here, according to Natural Stat Trick, a 5.2. That was 26th best in the league among all goalies, ahead of both Skinner and Calvin Pickard there, right behind Jonathan Quick, UC Saros, Aiden Hill. So he's in the mix as one. He can be one of the best,
right? Like the full season sample size is not going to do him justice, but there were times where he was just like lights out, just dominating for months at a time. But he does have those dropbacks where he doesn't play as well. And
it looks like I'm looking at his splits from that 23-24 season, like before the All-Star break or whatever it was last year, a 916 save percentage, and then after it 890s. So February, March, April were not kind to him. I wonder if that's because the Coyotes sold pieces or whatnot,
or because he started drinking.
Yeah, you never know what was going on there, and
regardless, like he's going to have a much better defensive environment behind the Oilers than the Coyotes at the time. So I love this move for Edmonton.
Yeah, and there's no risk of him wearing down when you have two other goalies that they're perfectly fine going with there. So that was two pieces of news here on Wednesday. I wanted to see if you saw the Arbor Xhekaj versus Zach McEwen beatdown last night, and I think it was in Quebec they were playing.
The only thing I cared about was fucking Dylan Cousins taking a hit to Ivan Demidov's wrist. I almost died when I read that news, but Freeman saying it's all good, no long-term concerns. So once again, fuck the Senators. I don't know why they were going all out in that game against the Canadiens in Quebec City in a preseason game. You're just trying to get through these games healthy. Like, why the fuck are you guys just going all out? The penalty minutes in that game was insane. I heard both the Xhekaj brothers are just fucking filling the Senators in. It was chaos there in Quebec City. That's another reason why we need to get a team there.
Yeah. You need another team to have join the rivalry with the Habs and the Sens and the Leafs.
Save it for the real season.
At this point of the season, unless teams are dressing like their starting lineup, they're dressing guys. They're like, all right, let me show I'm tough and I can be the 12th or 13th forward.
That's fair enough.
Yes, but that was a crazy game there in Quebec.
That's the thing. Like, why? Yeah, you got those guys who are trying to make the team by proving themselves as fighters. At the same time, players have to start these games, like the star players.
Yeah,
it's just fuck the preseason altogether. Just skip it.
Well, next year I think they're starting. Well, it's going to be an 84-game season, but I think they're starting on September 27th or 28th with a shorter preseason. Shorter preseason there. So.
Better than nothing.
Yeah. Okay, let's make sure you check out the merch store or the SGPN app in your app store for easy access to all SGPN's picks and podcasts there. And we are going to be getting to the Tampa Bay Lightning here. Last season they finished second in the Atlantic with 102 points. Over under was at 98.5. Once again, Andrei Vasilevsky starting 63 games. Then Jonas Johansson starting 18, and Halverson starting 1. Vasi 921 save percentage. Kucherov an amazing season. Probably should have won the Hart. If he wasn't Russian, he probably would have. He won the Ross and the Pearson, and like that matters there. I think they lost in the
First round
to the Panthers. Yeah, they were beat up there. They had a bunch of injuries. We thought it was going to be a closer series, possibly with the Lightning taking out the Panthers, but could not get it done there. What do you think about the Bolts last season?
Right, yeah, they showed that they're still an elite team. They, it's been a couple down seasons before last season, but last year they really showed themselves to be a quality contender. We saw Nikita Kucherov really come in the last third of the season. Yeah, maybe he's pissed off because the Russians weren't part of the Four Nations thing, but regardless, he was absolutely elite. Just I think he had a wrist injury or something in the playoffs, but he was a non-factor in that series against the Panthers. Yeah, like you said, he should have won the Hart. Vasilevsky, another bounce back year because after a couple down years dealing with injuries with his, I think he had groin surgery and whatnot. But yeah, full season.
He had back surgery, didn't he? The back injury,
whatever it is. Those are the typical goalie injuries, right? Back and groin. But yeah, great season for him. He had a Vezina case at some point if Hellbuck wasn't so elite. Yeah, just a tough final there because they got swamped by the Panthers. They were down 3-0 in that series at one point before getting themselves a gentleman's sleep, losing 4-1, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a disappointing season, but there's a lot of potential for this team going forward, as we'll get into. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what they got going for. Like they lost Stamkos as well. We should mention that they lost Stamkos. They brought in Gensel. Gensel wasn't elite for a long time, but he was actually really good in the Four Nations. I was impressed by him playing for the Americans. So yeah, but I think that he's going to be great on that line this year.
Yeah, the big player that stepped up for them last year, I thought, was Brandon Hagel. He had 35 goals, 90 points. You think of him, Brandon Hagel, like a third line role player, but no, he broke out in a big way last year. We'll see if that continues for them.
He was like top 10 in points, right?
Yeah, he was insanely good. I don't think he played too much with Kucherov. I could be wrong there, but I think it was him and Cirelli. I think are the two that normally play together. But yeah, looking here to the off season for the Lightning, not too much happened. And these good teams either do a lot or don't do much at all. They kept
nobody did anything this offseason.
No, well, that too. They traded Isaac Howard for Sam O'Reilly. We touched on that yesterday. Lost Cam Atkinson, Luke Glendening, Nick Perbix, added Pontus Holmberg, Boris Kachuk, Jacob Pelletier, who they waived today, and Scott Saborin there. So just going to be more of the same here from the Lightning after pretty much nothing offseason.
We should mention, though, that they did pick up Bjorkstrand and Yanni Gourde at the trade deadline. So those are guys who are going to be part of the team again. Yanni Gourde, of course, familiar with the Lightning, and Bjorkstrand, one of those analytical darlings. So, yeah, that should provide some more depth to a team that's been deprived of it for a little bit now. Because, yeah, when the Lightning won the Cups, it was like they had that 1-2-3 punch. And maybe they can get that again now with Gourde and Bjorkstrand in the mix. Hedman proved that he wasn't over the hill yet. Like remember last year, he was very good. The year before, he was terrible, but injuries were part of that. So as long as you can maintain that kind of like just at top pairing level, then this team is primed for anything. They could do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they're at the end of their dynastic run here, and they're holding on, trying to get one last one and one last cup. And anytime you have Vasilevsky, Kucherov, and Hedman and Point, you're gonna have a chance there. Okay, going into this upcoming season, let me pull up their odds on the screen. Their over under is 102.5. Over and under both are -115. -550 to make the playoffs, +380 to miss the playoffs, +180 to win the Atlantic, and then that's 8-1 to win the Stanley Cup. You hinted that you're pretty high on the Lightning this season.
They're down to 8-1 to win the Stanley Cup.
At least here at DraftKings, I'm not sure what they are.
That's definitely one of the lower prices in the market. Yeah, I was fortunate that I was betting into the Lightning before the Barkov.
No, I'm seeing 15 at Caesars, 11 at FanDuel. So
that's more like it.
Eight's really short.
Yeah, I got 18-1. I got 9-1 to win the Western Conference division +350. So I know I don't want to be that guy like, oh, I got such better numbers. It was just a fluke because of the Barkov injury. That's what changed a lot of this. But the points that only moved a point. I got 101.5, so 102.5. I love the points over. I think that this team will win the division. There's a bunch of youthful teams that are trying to make the leap. I don't expect any of them to make the jump. I mean, I hope so for the Canadians. So you have 20 to 1 for them to win the division. But other than that, the Leafs, they lost Marner, and that's not a minor loss by any means. I know they built around the Matthews and Nylander with a couple depth pieces, but I think the Marner was an engine in terms of that team's two-way play. So, yeah, I think that this team is the rightful favorite to win the division. So even at plus 180 now with the Barkov stuff, I would take that. I don't think this team is exactly going to be taking it easy, like the Panthers were, or we expect them to do in terms of the regular season. I think that the Lightning will just go pedal to the metal and win this division. And yeah, over 102.5 points. Love that. And not the 8-1 Stanley Cup. Bad. No. At this point, don't bet anything that in the single digits to win the Stanley Cup. But yeah, that's something I do have in pocket at 18 to 1.
Yeah. I mean, you can still get 15 and 11 out there, so it's not horrible. I mean, just looking at the Lightning, they haven't gone over 102 points since getting 110 in their last Stanley Cup final season. But looking at the Atlantic, I mean, you said it.
Look at the last third of their season last year, though. They were like the best team in the league in terms of the underlying numbers. And them and the Blues. The Blues were really good in the last third of the season after the Four Nations thing. But the Lightning just absolutely fucking took off and nearly won the division at the end. But
they went 27-4.
Right.
Since after February 1st.
So that's what I'm backing on. So that kind of form going into this season.
Yeah, that's looking pretty good there. I don't have a bet in mind for this. I mean, I like them at the division at plus 180. Plus 2 to 1 is the best one out there. I think minus 550 is short for the playoffs. So if you want to use that as like a parlay piece for some futures, if that's an option, I'm trying to find
some serious injuries for them to miss.
Yeah. I'm trying to find some point. Let's see what they are to get 110 points. They are plus 240. So you
plus
think
180 to win the division is way better than that.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough because how many teams only 3 teams got 110 points last year: Jets, Capitals, and Knights. Leafs only had 108. So division at plus 180 is probably going to be the best bet here, but. We have our friend Sean in the chat saying Vasi should be a favorite for Vezina, only team he's confident that'll be a top tier team and rack up the wins. So there are a few potential player awards worth talking about.
I'm staying away from Vezina altogether.
I am as well. Vasi Vezina on DraftKings is 9 to 1. Hedman for Norris is very long. Where's Hedman for Norris? Okay, 50 to 1 there. The Hart Kucherov is 7 to 1. I'd rather take Kucherov for the Art Ross though at 5 to 1. I think because he's not going to get the respect.
Don't have to worry about voters.
Don't have to worry about the human factor there.
Right.
Rocket Richard. I don't know. He's more of a passer anyway. So I think that's really the only. Or Anthony Cirelli 6 to 1 for the Selke. If he
6 to 1. Wow, that's fallen a lot.
Yeah, Selke's. Really
he was second place, I think, right? In terms of the Selke voting last year. He was a finalist anyway, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me pull this
so
up
that makes
here.
Sense that
he was third, just barely behind Reinhardt. So he was essentially second.
Yeah.
And if him and Hagel have another great season, that could be an option, but I think 6 to 1 is too short for that. Braden Point's the favorite to win the Lady Byng at plus 450 there. Not sure if there's any of those award bets I would recommend. Maybe Kucherov for the Art Ross if there's better odds out there.
That's the only thing I'd be interested in. But no, I'd rather just bet the team instead of individual players when it comes to Lightning.
Yeah, and you can always get better prices on the hard market usually in the season for stuff like this. Okay.
Just wait for Knobloch to announce that McDavid is going to be back next week. Okay, bet everyone else.
Anything else, or you want to get to our best bets there?
No. Let's go with the Lightning over 102.5 points, 5 units.
102, 10.5.
That'd be nice.
15, 5 units. I'll take division. What was that? 180. What have I been doing for stuff like that? Let me see. I'll probably put 2 or 3 on that. I feel like it's not something I'm actually betting as of now, but I do think it's the best way to play it. I'll put 2 units on that one there. So that's our Lightning bets to start that. And let's throw it to an ad break here. We are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. So head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Since Novig is an exchange, you know you're getting some of the best prices in the market. It's available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. You guys know we're officially back when Joel is just walking around, refilling his drink, done the ad break. I got a tap dance here for a little bit while Joel gets back. Our next team is going to be the Colorado Avalanche, Joel's very own. So I was planning on passing to him. Here he comes back. Here he's putting his headphones on now. And Joel, you're taking the Colorado Avalanche as our next team. So I wanted to toss that one your way after they finished last season with 102 points. Over-under was 104.5. Lost in the first round in 7 games to Dallas.
All right, dude. It's a tough start for the team, the boys. Largely thanks to Forgiev. And I can't even remember the back of it. Was it still Justus Annunen at the beginning of the year?
Yes.
Yeah. So miserable performance by the goalies. I think the Avalanche actually set a record in terms of their winning percentage with such a bad save percentage in the first month or 2 of the season. So naturally, Joe Sakic, Chris McFarland are very proactive, and they made massive deals to get Scott Wedgwood and, more importantly, Blackwood in there, Mackenzie Blackwood, and that entirely turned the season around. Once you get some average goaltending, even above average goaltending from Mackenzie Blackwood, then you're going to get better results. And the Avalanche turned things around. Once Nichushkin got over his coke suspension, he came back in ready to go in December. Looked like he hadn't missed a step. So he was very, very good for the team going forward. Just unfortunate to lose against the Dallas Stars in the first round. I thought the Avalanche were the better team in the majority of those games, but they just couldn't get the goals when they needed them. And that's the way she goes. I thought the Avalanche deserved a better result, but yeah, the Stars are an elite team as well. And then Mikko Rantanen fucking made them pay in that series. The Avalanche making that deal to the Hurricanes, never thinking that he would end up playing them in the first round. Those sneaky fucks there in Carolina dealing him to Dallas. So that was highly unfortunate. Rantanen had a bone to pick with the Avs management, and he took it out on the Avalanche team. How many goals he scored in that series? It was insane. He was all over the place.
5, right?
Yeah, he just more than 5. I'm pretty sure he just dominated that series, and that's the way it goes. Yeah, it was like he was the whole offense for the Stars in that series.
Yeah, he was in that series. It was took over in Game 7.
Yeah, that's the human element we talk about sometimes, a revenge factor and all that. But tough way to go out in the first round, considering the Avalanche were primed with all those deals they made at the trade deadline, bringing in Brock Nelson and Charlie Coyle. Really elevated their team, getting rid of Middlestad, who was absolutely useless as a second center throughout the whole year. But yeah, this team is still primed for a few years yet as a contender, as long as that Makar deal is still on, which is another 2 years, I'm pretty sure. You get him an absolute steal. So yeah, it was a tough season, a tough way to end the season, but very enjoyable watching these guys play, especially in the final third of the season where they really elevated the team. And bringing the new guys in, Brock Nelson was great. Charlie Cole, even though he didn't score for a long time, he was pretty good. And Jonathan Drouin was elite, but he's no longer with the team. Yeah, I don't know much else to say.
Avs finished top 10 in expected goals for percentage, also bottom 10 in PDO there. So, a bit unlucky in the regular season. And yeah, that first round series, it was McKinnon versus Rantanen. McKinnon had 7 goals and 11 points, and Rantanen had 5 goals and 12 points. So it was just those two going head to head, and Mikko Rantanen got more help than Nathan McKinnon did, because who had the second most points on the Avalanche in that series?
Let me fuck. No, it's fine. God, it's on the tip of my tongue.
He averaged 13.32 per game. 2 goals for.
Tell me, I'm not going to get it.
1 shorthanded goal. That helps.
Oh, is it? Nichushka would be my guess, but I don't think he had that many points.
No, Logan O'Connor.
And he might be playing a lot more than that. Oh, Logan O'Connor, LOC. Hell yeah, that guy.
Logan O'Connor. And Rantanen had hints and Cowboy Wyatt Johnson there. Thomas Harley stepping up. So Tyler Seguin made some encouragement. So, that was that stars there. The Colorado Avalanche off-season added Brent Burns, Gavin Brindley, and Alex Barre-Boulet. Subtractions. Lost Jonathan Drouin. I feel like that could be a big loss there. Charlie Coyle, Miles Wood. I always liked him. He's fast there. Ryan Lindgren, Eric Johnson, who retired today. Happy retirement to him. And Joel Gifiranta. And the biggest addition, Gabe Landeskog, going to be coming back, slotted in on the second line right now.
Yeah, he was actually really good in that series. Didn't really miss a beat, so that's encouraging for the next season. You mentioned Miles Wood. Sure, he's fast as fuck and all that, but he was under a massive contract in terms of the length of the deal, and getting Gavin Brindley for him is a great deal, I think. Once again, we're fleecing the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets are like our farm team, more or less, in terms of the history behind them. Of course, Chris McFarland used to work for them. Yeah, show me the daily face-off lineup here. Martin H's, of course, getting him in there. He had a strong regular season, but again, kind of disappeared in the playoffs, which is a concern. That's not what you want when you're dealing out Mikko Rantanen, who's one of the historically best playoff performers. But yeah, that top 6 looks really good with Lehkonen, McKinnon, H's, Nichushkin, Nelson, Landeskog. So finally there's some depth. The Avalanche have been begging for that second-line center since Kadri left. He got priced out. Brock Nelson, I thought that he was pretty good, and he's still 33, 34, so he's still got some juice left. And yeah, the bottom 6 is going to be a mishmash, as it always is in Denver. But I
like the Victor Olofsson signing. He must have signed after the article I read there was written.
Yeah, anybody who comes from Buffalo is going to be playing better somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Jack Drury, another guy in that Nature's trade. And I don't even know who Zakhar Bardakov is. Maybe. Ross Colton. He's a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Love him on the third line. But yeah, it's all about the defense too.
Yeah, let me scroll down to the defense here. You got Taves McCarr, Malinsky, Manson, and Middleton Burns there on the third pair.
Because you got Samuel Girard is injured for them. Otherwise, he would be on that second pair. Malinsky probably would go down to the third pair. Brent Burns, I don't know the reasoning behind that deal. He's 40 years old now.
Yeah, let him enjoy the mountains in Colorado with all of the stuff that he does.
I guess, but
he can't be worse than Eric Johnson, can he? With all due respect to EJ.
I love EJ, so it's hard for me to be unbiased in that respect. But Brent Burns. Yeah, I guess on third pairing, whatever. He'll be a second power play guy, I suppose. Even though, no, I'd rather have Girard back.
Well, once Girard comes back, maybe Burns is the press box guy.
Yeah,
but doesn't he have? Does he have some sort of streak going?
Like games played, or what?
Yeah. No, he had it. He lost it.
At
some point.
Yeah, he's old, man. I don't know. I didn't understand that one. I usually love the moves the Avalanche management make, but Brent Burns is a puzzling one. But he's like 1 year.
He might have it going 925 games.
Well, I was hoping it ended. Otherwise, we wouldn't have to play him for that sake.
Yeah, the Flyers got Keith Yandel a few years ago, but the Flyers weren't competing like the Avalanche were.
Yeah. Anyway, I still like the defense. Josh Manson, physical warrior. The top line is probably the best in the league with McCarr and Taves. And once Gerard gets healthy again, then very solid 6 there.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Wood tandem in net, Blackwood and Wedgwood, both played great last year once they got to Colorado. So that should be pretty good there for the Avs this coming season. Okay, this coming season, their point total is at 103.5, minus 115 both ways there. They're minus 900 to make the playoffs, plus 550 to miss, plus 225 to win the Central, and 9-1 to win the Stanley Cup. Anything here jump out at you, Joel?
Well, I'm positive this year on the Avalanche. Stanley Cup is a little bit too short there at 9-1, but the regular season, I think that this team will be a juggernaut in the Central. I expect either the Stars or the Avalanche to win the division. So pick your poison. 2-1 or better. One of those teams is going to win. So you're getting some value there regardless. I don't expect the Jets to do it. And other than that, you'll have to make some massive leaps. Like
the sneaky wild. If Kaprizov's healthy the full year, and Joe Eriksson and Jared Spurgeon and Gustafsson.
Possibly. But I think it'll take some serious injuries from the Stars and the Avs for them to lose this. So I would take the division from the Avalanche, but just narrowly over the Stars. You're getting a slightly better price with Colorado. But for the purposes of the show, and actually my actual bet, the Avalanche points over 103.5 would be my bet here. I think that they're going to be racing to the heavens with the Stars. They're both going to exceed 103 points.
3.5 minus 115. How many units for that one? You're doing 5?
4.
Do 4 units on that. I'm probably going to go for the I think probably for the division at plus 225. Do kind of want to talk out some player awards first. McKinnon 5-1 for Hart, I think is too short. You're not betting that at this point. 5-1 for Art Ross as well. I think Mackenzie Blackwood for the Vezina could be sneaky, but he's down to 30-1, and it's tough to touch the Vezina when you have Connor Hellebuck on back-to-back, and so might just go with the division bet there for myself.
Yeah, the award stuff is tricky. I mean, at some point I'll probably bet Makar, but the odds aren't going to change a lot. It's him or Hughes. Unless something miraculous happens, somebody comes out of nowhere, or some injuries occur. I'll probably be betting Makar to win the Norris at some point, but not this early.
Yeah, he's plus 165 for the Norris on DraftKings. There's no real.
That's a parlay piece, like halfway through the season when he's like minus 120.
Yep.
Like minus 100.
Yeah. Just follow the line movement. Follow us because we do some good player award stuff throughout the season. That is one area where I think we can say we're pretty strong.
Yes, just not in Vezina.
Okay, let's start another ad break here. We are brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is a great place to play fantasy pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats, available in a ton of sports. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code HGP. And make sure you check out Rhythm. They're off to a great start in college football and the NFL. They got a cash prizes for a leaderboard just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you could win $1,000. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download the Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. All right, the third and final team for this show is going to be the Los Angeles Kings. I'm kind of surprised that they finished with more points than the other two teams we talked about last season. I kind of forgot that, but 105 points, second in the Pacific, 96.5 points was their over-under going in. But I guess they did have that great March and April to force a matchup with the Oilers in the first round, which of course did not go their way, losing in 6 games, despite some, winning the first 2. It looked like they had the Oilers on the ropes. And
almost won the first 3.
Yeah, almost run the first 3 if there wasn't for that challenge, a fateful challenge, and just completely turned the third period there. But yeah, Kings, every year, I feel like we say, can Kopitar and Doughty keep doing it? This is going to be Kopitar's last year coming up, but last year, Adrian Kempe, Kevin Fiala both had 35 goals. Byfield took a decent step, I guess, 54 points. Warren Fogle, 46 points, 24 goals. What was their defense? Like Drew Doughty played 24 minutes, Gavrikov, Michael Anderson, and Darcy Kemper, 921 save percentage. He was really a big story for them when Big Save Dave behind them had an 886 save percentage. So quite the difference there.
Yeah, Kemper was a saving grace in terms of that trade with the Capitals, considering how well Pierre-Luc Dubois played for them. Kemper did his part for the Kings, but he doesn't need to do much considering they have the best defensive environment. It's either them or the Jets in the Western Conference, at least. And it was all about that system. They have a great defensive system, but it's very pedestrian to watch. The offense has no juice. You mentioned Kempe. He definitely is an elite goal scorer, but other than that, there's not much going forward. Very boring team to watch, in my opinion, and they don't have the star power to win in the playoffs. Now that Kopitar and Doughty are over the hill, and they rely on that system too much, and the coaching just utterly failed them there with the challenge. And in terms of like the dynamics of the team, like they don't have any kind of I don't know, they don't have like a real powerful leader to take them over the top. We can mush about Kopitar and his two-way play, but he's not the kind of guy who's going to like rally the team to get over that hump. And once again, we've seen it like 4 times in a row. Lost to the Oilers. You'd think that they get him one of these times, but no, not even a 2-game lead. Basically a 2.5 game lead, and they fold. So yeah, this team is soft, I think, in the playoffs. The regular season, they can like dominate against the Ducks and the Sharks, teams they play all the time, the Canucks as well. But yeah, it's just a team that I think has a very low ceiling, and this time I think they have a pretty low floor, considering they lost Gavrikov, one of their best defensemen. They bring in Cody Ceci and who was the other one? The guy from Pittsburgh.
Oh, they brought in
Dumoulin.
Dumoulin.
Yeah. So yeah, this team is just I think they're just old, and I don't like the coaching. I think that they take a massive step back this season because there's only so much you can do with that defensive play and relying on that goaltending from Darcy Kemper, especially when the division I think is getting a lot better. I think the Ducks are better. I think the Sharks are better. Canucks can't be worse. Flames probably worse, but and then you got the Oilers and Knights as well. So yeah. I think the Kings are a little bit overpriced here. So I'm happy to fade them this year.
Yeah, I mean, last year Kings did have the best expected goals against per 60 at 2.17 at 5-on-5 in the league, and it's they would get a lead, they would go up 2-0 and win a game 3-1 or 3-2. That's just how they played last year, and you would think that a team that plays that way is able to play that way in the playoffs, and maybe they could against a team that's not the Oilers, but they cannot outscore their problems when the Oilers come to town there. So. Yeah, I forgot about how bad their offseason was. Let's get into that. They added Corey Perry, Joel Armia, Cody Ceci, Brian Dumoulin, Samuel Bolduc, and Anton Forsberg. Great ads like 10 years ago, possibly. Yeah. And the key subtractions, Tanner Jeannot, Gavrikov, Caleb Jones, and David Rittich there. Maybe an upgrade, backup goalie, Anton Forsberg. But besides that, just a bunch of downgrades for the Kings who, haven't seen a ton from the young guys. Quinton Byfield, is still not quite what I think he should be. Brent Clark has been in and out of the lineup. So, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm as strongly fading the Kings as you will be, but what do you think about their offseason?
It's terrible. Rob Blake lost the job somehow. Oh, no, it's Ken Holland now? Yeah, that's right. It's the old man in town.
Yeah, that's why they got Ceci back.
Exactly.
As long as Ken Holland has a job, Cody Ceci knows he has a job.
Yeah, I don't see the plan here because, like I said, they need more offensive punch, and instead they just weakened their defense. They'll need Quinton Byfield to take a massive step forward, but yeah, the offseason is a massive failure, I think. Ken Holland is just he's living in the 90s.
They would have been so much better just doing nothing like the rest of these teams did. Or like maybe
just even Gavrikov, massive.
Yeah, keep Gavrikov there. Maybe go out and get like Nikolai Ehlers, but I feel like he's in the Kempe Fiala range of just
he's just on the fucking Hurricane.
Support wingers. Exactly.
Kings of the Hurricanes of the West in some respects.
Yeah, and yeah, sometimes you get fun games when they play the Sharks or whatnot, but it is normally boring hockey out there in LA. This upcoming season, their over-under is at 98.5. The over is -105. Under is -125. They had 105 points last year. They're -350 to make the playoffs, +260 to miss, 4-1 to win the division, and 22-1 to win the Stanley Cup. Joel, I have to imagine you're going miss playoffs. Are you faded them that bad?
Yeah, especially with these numbers, because that doesn't make much sense, because +260 is one of the better prices in the market for them to miss playoffs.
Yeah.
But you have to pay -125 for them to go to 198.5. So with these prices, absolutely, I love the missed playoffs.
Yeah, I might have to end up copying that, but I might. What was Kopitar yesterday for Selke when I said it? Wasn't like
22.
Was it? He's down to 16 now. Like why? Like
I understand the case.
I can't have that much of an impact on the market. Like what is happening there? But that might be what I have to go.
Fucking
with
Archer
because
in this 20 discords.
He's spreading the good word of Anze Kopitar there, because Kopitar, he won 2 Selkies in 16 and 18. We talked about the defensive play of the Kings. Going to be a low scoring team. +14 last year, finished 8th in Selke voting. I think that'll be my bet there.
Sure. There's a narrative case for it. I can't have it when I'm also fading the Kings. So
yeah, no, absolutely. They're 1,600. I'm putting a half unit on that. How many units you want on this playoffs?
Oh, just give me 2
units on that. Can I take something for Selke? Yeah, I took Draisaitl, Selke, so now I have Draisaitl and I have Kopitar for Selke. Got my Selke portfolio growing here a little bit.
All right. I don't think I have anything in this show.
No, you don't. You
don't. Get the fuck out of here, Archer. What is it? You saying that?
Hey, they can go under at 98 and win Selke. Everyone wins.
I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I don't. I think Selke winners usually have to be on winning teams.
Yes.
Because otherwise, it's like, okay, how great were you?
There's a narrative case, so maybe you can sneak in there. It's a possibility, but that's threading the needle.
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Kings need to get to 100.
Yeah, I'm trying to look back to see if there were any like guys winning it after going so long without winning it. And I mean, Bergeron went from 2017 to 2022, which is 5 years. This would be 7-8 years for Kopitar.
It's because half the voters don't know what the fuck Selke means. They just follow, who's the best defensive forward? Who's the kind of like the cult pick? And that's where the narrative kicks in. So I could certainly see him winning. I just, I don't like having positive and negative bets of the same team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Archer's saying the Panthers did it. Panthers had 98 points and Barkov won it, but they're the Panthers. They were the reign. And it's Barkov. Yeah, they were the reigning. They had the top 2 voters, and like they were the reigning Stanley Cup champions, and only had 98 points because they stopped trying. And
Bergeron retired.
Yeah,
Bergeron's still playing. He probably still went.
Okay, I think that probably about do it for us here. Anything else before we close this one out, Joel?
I don't think so. We got 2 positive teams here. We're very high on the Lightning. We're semi-high on the Avalanche, and we're pretty fading the Kings here. So
we love the weather and we hate royalty here on this podcast.
Apparently,
yeah. I do want to apologize to the Los Angeles Dodgers for what I said to them yesterday. Shohei Ohtani must have been listening, trying to get us some hockey gambling tips. Well, I said the Dodgers, had some injuries, weren't as good as they were, and then Ohtani goes out and hits 2 home runs. Teoscar Hernandez hits 2 home runs.
I got a boost at -1.5 for them to win it today, so hopefully they win by margin.
They should come through for you there. So Dodgers will be tough for my Phillies on Saturday. That's game 1, as long as the Dodgers win. That should be a good series.
I'll cheer for you. Fuck LA.
Appreciate that. Make sure you check out the Hockey Gambling Podcast on Twitter at HockeySGPN, the Discord. YouTube, subscribe, like, comment there. 5-star rating and review on Spotify and Apple. We shall be back tomorrow and Friday to finish our previews. All right, I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at HardGilbertSOP.
And I'm Joel Meyer. You'll find me following up with another CFL bet. We're going under 55.5. in the Lions Stampeders game. It is in DC. I think the Stampeders defense will show up for this one, and then the Lions offense will be stymied. But I'd rather take the under than betting the Stamps here. So under 55.5 in the Calgary BC game on Saturday.
See ya.